NFTs, the new way for creators to make money, has taken the world by storm. But how is it going to impact the next 20 to 30 years of our lives? Welcome back, everybody, to Life Changing Wealth. You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay Biondo here. Today, I got some really awesome stuff to talk to you guys about. But before we get there, if you guys do like the content, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button below, and also turn on that notification bell. All right, so today we're going to talk about NFTs. More specifically, we're going to talk about how they're going to impact the next 20 to 30 years of our lives, not just have creators use them today, but let's just sort of create a foundation so that we can map out the next 20 to 30 years, thinking about these new ways to make money, these new opportunities that are on the horizon. Well, first, how are a lot of NFTs used today? Well, they're really only just getting started. People are selling their artwork online, their digital art. Some of them are selling images as NFTs. And for those that don't know, NFTs are just a unique way to own a piece of artwork or a piece of content. I'll say it like that, from a creator, right? So, and you can sell these on the open market. Okay. So how people are using them today is really just selling digital art, selling little videos, animated videos, selling audio, selling rights to different things, to different events possibly. So there's a lot of things sort of at play here. The biggest one being digital art currently, and that's sort of the current use case. And it leads people to believe, well, who's buying these things? Why are they spending an exorbitant amount of money on this stuff? And really, even beyond that, is this a fad? Is this going to die out? Well, it's not going to die out, and we're going to walk through exactly why that is. All right. So this was an article recently released, from CoinDesk that came out. What are the 15 use cases of NFTs that could go mainstream? And I want to walk through some of this with you, talk about some of the use cases they threw out there, what I think's valid, what I think's garbage. Let's go through them. Let's go through them together, guys. Let's walk through them. So first one, gaming. This is huge for gaming. I think of games when I think of games, I immediately think of like Hearthstone, the card game online, right? Where you could have different rarities for card games. You could, I think God of War is already a crypto that does this, but it's gonna get even more crazy, right? You're gonna have big companies like Blizzard start to pick this up, where now you can buy different cards. And you can sell those cards for different prices on the open market. It's not just integral to the game. That card game now becomes it creates like an extension, almost a platform where you can now sell these NFTs, these cards, whatever you want to call them, on an open market that impact the game, right? Imagine imagine a kid, or not even a kid, me could be, right? That's like picking up a new game. Maybe it's like a Zelda game, right? Where you could buy a different sword and you could use that sword throughout the game that would have an impact on the play. It would increase in strength over time, maybe. Maybe you could resell it. Maybe you can attach new equipment to it that would make it stronger and then resell it. So now you create a digital asset that other people can buy from you and then use it in their game, right? So I think this is huge. A very simple way to think of this, if that was a little too abstract, is right now you can buy skins in games like Halo, right? You can go and the Halo Infinite's coming out, and they're going to be releasing skins. So you can buy essentially different skins and pay for them. Well, imagine if you had unique copies, right, where there were only 10 versions of these skins, or 10 of this same color, or 10 of this same style, right? And then you could resell them to other people, right? You could jack them up. And the thing is, what's really interesting about this is the game creator, could put in a contract in there that every time it gets resold, they earn some of the profits off of the resale. So there's even tokenomics that can be integrated into these gaming platforms that would make the games so much more money. Not only would it make like the experience more engaging, interactive, and way more expensive as well, but it would also could possibly bring back the creators even more money than they already make on these games, which is really sort of future minded. I think it's going to take a while to get there, but there are some platforms that are starting to build this out and think about it. There's a new one, I just can't think of it off the top of my head, but gaming is gonna be huge. It may be the biggest use case really that I can think of. I mean, I think back in the past where you had people selling different accounts on different games. You had people with like World of Warcraft accounts selling them on eBay and things like that, and that's accounts. Imagine if you could sell in-game items, right? Super cool, crazy stuff. I can't wait to see where this goes. It's definitely going to have a big impact on games to come. Okay, fashion and wearables. This is interesting, right? Because just take like an example of if you buy a pair of Air Jordans or something, right? A lot of times those are counterfeit. And that same thing with like counterfeit purses or counterfeit watches, right? That's a common thing. Well, you may want an NFT associated with that, so that you have that unique, that unique watch, that unique pair of Air Jordans. And some people won't care about that, but some people really want the authentic quality. You see this today with people buying authentic jerseys. And that's where I think the real value is that over time, especially if you buy certain kind of watches, over time they actually go up in value. And if you can prove its authenticity, then that creates even more value. So that's where I think that's going. DeFi NFTs. This, I think, is kind of a garbage use case, but it is a use case, but it's not one that I think is a great use case. So in this article, it gives the example of, imagine if you can't pay rent, and then you could pawn up your NFTs or loan them out for the rent money. This is just like another way to finance your life. I mean, when I think about financing today, I think this is a total disaster because people are already using credit cards too much. People are they're going into debt too much, and now this is just another way to DeFi, possibly go into further debt. Now, with that said, maybe you can loan these out and make money. Maybe you can loan them out and earn an interest rate, right? Maybe I can bridge the in-game like swords, right, that I could use in the game, and I could rent them out. And I can now create this sort of DeFi lending platform where you could buy digital assets, rent them out to players to be used. That would be cool. That's sort of a bridge of two concepts that just sort of came in my head, but I could see that being possible. Okay, so we scroll down here, events and ticketing. This is really cool. It talks about concerts, how when you buy concert tickets, for one, you should be able to just resell them, right? You should be able to not only that, it would associate a piece of art in the ticket that would be a digital representation of that ticket. You could then resell even a used ticket to an event. Think of old Beatles tickets, old Michael Jackson tickets. People would pay money for just for that, like sort of that relic, right? That way to sort of reminisce about the artist, or just for bragging rights. So I think this is actually a real use case. Really interesting. And the other thing is the artists would love this, because you could build in a smart contract where anytime their tickets got resold, the artist would make more money. Okay, very, very cool. Depending on what the business model is there's a lot of ways to make additional down the line revenue. That's really the cool thing about these NFTs. So okay, community platforms. This was kind of a way to this was kind of a weird one. It was like a way to bring real items that you own in the real world like who knows what, like a crown is sort of the example they gave, and then bring it into a metaverse, or it's just sort of take objects from the real world and inject them into the game, and then use those as NFTs. This, I don't know. I'm not seeing it yet, so maybe somebody can explain that one to me in a little bit more detail. But I'm not seeing it there. That doesn't quite hit me. All right, metaverse. Let's move on. Metaverse. Okay. The metaverse. Okay, future game changer. This is also like using items in a decentralized world, right? In a new metaverse. Yeah, I think that will happen. I think that's sort of a part of the gamification that was mentioned earlier. It kind of seems like the same scenario. Virtual land, right? So this is a cool one. Lex Luthor said, "Land, it's the one thing they can't make more of." Well, not true, right? Not true, because you can make digital land now. So you've got worlds like Decentraland that are selling real estate in game. Okay, boy, talk about how weird this is, that you could be like a rich person in Decentraland and not be rich in real life, or and have like a totally different I guess a totally different like environment, right? So it's just kind of a loopy thought process, but I think that's a real thing. It's just another way to create real estate, another way to tokenize new land. Really kind of crazy, kind of nuts to think about, but I think that will be a thing. Especially if there's a finite supply of it, right? So pretty much whenever there's a finite supply of just about anything, there can be, if the demand picks up, then it can be valuable. Seemingly like it's going to be promising. Okay, digital identity. This one I think is very critical. The big thing is we have this massive identity theft security issue going on in the world. We have, and I say that meaning like, people can get their identity stolen, and it's very hard to control identity. I think about when I sign up for an exchange or go to the bank, or I have to go through all these like hoops to prove my identity. Well, it would be nice if there was an NFT version, a way to prove it without having to give them all this different information, my social security number, where I live, all this different stuff, right? To prove I am who I am. It'd be nice if there was just an NFT that would give that and sort of prove that. I'm not sure how this would be done. I know a lot of people are thinking about digital identities. They're even thinking about it in a way where you have a digital identity on the internet, right? So that if you go to any website, Twitter, Facebook, wherever, Instagram, it just automatically logs you in based on your digital identity, and you don't even have logins and passwords anymore. You just are logged in as one big digital identity for the web. That, I think, really powerful. I think that's kind of like the next iteration of the web. Really cool stuff. Social media and influence. Yeah, I mean, yes, it'll be used on social media. I'm not sure how it's going to be used. This is a little wishy-washy for me. Music. All right, music. So music's really cool in the sense that you're going to have creators that create music that do licensing deals, right? That can license out their music. They can create it as an NFT, create NFT licenses. Really, really unique. You could even make it so that when you release a CD, you only release or audio versions, I should say. You only release a few authentic copies. I'm trying to think of the band. There was one band that did this, and there's also one NFT platform that does this already. I think this is going to happen. I think the same is true for movies, really all forms of entertainment. I don't think this is just a music thing. And then they go through a couple other scenarios. We won't go through them all. I think that's pretty much it, actually, which is like healthcare, advertising, and creating unique pieces of content that's sort of tied back to a digital identity as well. All right, so that's some use cases that are definitely going to happen over the next 20 to 30 years. Okay, but let's just take a look at the overall market. Okay, so right now, the NFT stats, we're looking at a market cap of, $769 billion in these digital assets currently. Okay, so how big is that? It's almost as big as Bitcoin right now, its value, which is nuts to think. It's bigger, if you take the total market cap, it's bigger than Ethereum. So NFTs are here to stay. There's just so much money in this. I mean, right now, you just scroll through. You can take a quick look at what's the average price of these items. $545,000 for some crypto punks. This is, it's disgusting how much money is just being thrown around at this stuff. But that's what's happening, and it is here to stay, and it's going to get more wild as time goes on. Another thing I wanted to talk about was Coinbase. So Coinbase's NFT platform is on the way. You can now join the waitlist. So they pumped out this article on October 12th. People have been jumping on board. Within days, I think they had over 1 million people on the waitlist. Really, really crazy. So they have this site up now, Coinbase NFT Announce, right, where you can go ahead and sign up. And think about this. So the OpenSea platform has several hundreds of thousands of users right now, but Coinbase, and this was maybe a week or two after launch, they already had 1 million people on the wait list. This is going to explode even more as other platforms, keep coming online. So really wild times. Really interesting to see what's going to happen with NFTs. That's sort of the playbook that I see happening. I'm sure there's stuff I'm not even thinking about, but those are just some use cases that's going to happen very, very soon, probably within the next 10 years, let alone the next 20 to 30. So probably even as early as 5 years. So that's what I wanted to mention, guys. What are your thoughts on NFTs? Leave it down in the comments below. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this stuff. And also, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Give this video another subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, hop on the subscribe list. And I will see you guys in the next video. But before we do that, if you want to know more about NFTs, make sure to click that other video that should be popping up right now to just show you even more how crazy these NFTs are. I will catch you guys in the next video.